Hey guys, I am back with another video. Today I'll be showing you how to fix leaking shocks. Now, apparently, when I last time I rebuilt these, I didn't tighten this cap enough and let all the fluid came out. So we'll be rebuilding the fronts, and then we'll also be rebuilding the wheel, because if you look, it's been leaking over my arms. So if you guys are curious what weight I won, so I won for the rear, I won 60. And front, I won 50 in the front. So we're gonna go ahead and get the shock fluid. This comes in handy a lot when you go ahead and repair on these things. 50. These are the two weights I won. Front for 50, and then 60 in the wheel. What you guys been up to? Repairing your cars and all that? It's all complicated now. I will touch these up a little bit later when the stream ends. So if you guys want to know how to remove the catch shock of the detainer, you pull the spring back, push the collar up. It'll be a little tricky with the gloves on, because when you're wearing gloves, there goes your little retainer. Show it like that. There's a little groove right there. You gotta line that up next time when you rebuild it. Next, take the shock, open it up, see how much fluid leaked out. I probably just top it off. So it looks like not much has leaked out. So I think I can just get away by just putting a tiny bit in now. To use this little here, the stand, it's a perfect holder to hold your shocks in. I'm using TLR shock fluid. I find it best for my vehicles. I'm gonna go ahead and open that up. So go ahead and top off fluids. I don't like to fill it up all the way because it will spill out. And then go ahead and loop that piston up and down. And then the air bubbles in there, you need to work them out. So there we go. Go ahead and let that sit for a bit to wait for those air bubbles to escape. Next, we can work on the other shock. This cap can go right there next to it. Exact same thing. I'll show you what to do. Pull this until that shock cap comes straight off, and then you just lift it and then try to separate it. If I can. There you go. Shock caps, detainer's off, so you can remove the spring. That's what it should look like. Usually people like to fill it from the bottom, but I like to fill it from the top. Again, once this one looks like it hasn't leaked out too much, but I'm still gonna probably top it off just to make it safe. Grab your shock oil. Always play it safe when you guys fill up these shocks. Make sure the piston's all the way down, so you know what frame you need to put it at, and then go ahead and work that piston up and down. You twist it as well. You can twist it while you're pushing the piston up, and then twist it down so all those air bubbles get out. I'm gonna let that sit for a bit. Right now, rear shocks. I'm pretty sure the rear shocks are gonna be the worst. It's the exact same design in the front. You just remove that old tail. So for these ones, we're just gonna leave a little bit of air bubbles in there because I like to have a little stiff in the back. I like to separate the back and the front gloves because these are actually a little different. You might not tell, but they're actually different. So all these shock caps were really loose. You know, I took it. I didn't even use any effort. Oh, yep, that one needs to be topped off. So I'm gonna set that aside on that one. Open your shock oil. Like this comes with all these little cap things. You just take them off, but you always want to remember putting these back on right after. It keeps dirt and grime out. Go ahead and grab your sock. This, and then go ahead and then choose what weight you want. I'm going for this weight. Go up to reach the tippy top and then push it back down. And obviously there's no air bubbles, so we're good to put the cap back on. And I believe this is the 60 weight because you can dab your finger in there. Yep. So it's the blue. That's what I like about these other shocks, because these are TLO shock fluids, because they have colored in them. Really make sure that's really tight. Make sure that does not come off. I do need to bleed it again. Dummy. Dumb. Should have done that. Big mistake. It happens. Push the piston up. Keep it there. And go ahead and take your cap. Screw it on. And by the time you do this, you just pull it back down, and you should just push it up, and it should just retract back down. And that's a rebuilt shock. Grab your towel and just wipe it off because it's going to have oil in it. There you go, one healthy shock. Spring and retainer. I'll show you what you need to do. So that little gap needs to match with that little groove in the piston. Make sure it's upright. I had that a bunch of times and it's not fun. There you go, one healthy shock. Make sure it doesn't leak, so I'm gonna go ahead and push the piston up. Doesn't look like it's leaking, but still gonna, oh, shock cap came loose again. And I see why. I think I know why. I think there might be some air bubbles in there. So it's causing the piston to move a bit. There you go. One healthy shock. Make sure to just double check, just make sure it's tight, and it is. So that's one shock done. And it looks like the front shocks are done. So go ahead and grab the one that you had in there first. Track the piston down. And push it back up. It's the exact same as the rear ones. Just tighten that up. That's on now. I'm gonna take a towel and just wipe it off. Wipe all that oil and all that off the shock. And it should just do its job of doing the shock action. So I need to bleed it because it's not bleeding out. retract. For some reason it's still somehow loose. These are basically just the exact normal shocks, are just a little fiddly. Alright, one repaired box shock. So now, retainer, or spring, you could say it. Oh shit. Goes right there. One front shock we built. Make sure the cap's tight. And it is. So that can go in the front, back on the front. Still got to do the rear shock, this rear shock. So we're gonna do that before do the shock right here, which has already been leaking. So I'll show you guys what I do. Push the piston up. So you start seeing that bleeder screw. And then just do that. I mean, you can put some oil in the bleeder, you can put it in the cap, but I like to put it this way. I like to just twist it. That's why I'm wearing gloves. I know there's going to be a messy job, so why not? Clean off your shock a little bit. Go ahead and push the piston up just to make sure it doesn't move the piston or the shock cap. Because that will, there's a certain design that's a little weird. Extracts out. Make sure that's tight on now. And there you go. So now we're built. That. Push it down. Boom. Front shocks are done. Now, last shock. So this is the exact same, just one of those retainers. Push it out. Spring off. This one doesn't look that bad, but we'll do it anyways. I just dropped it. Lovely. You can tell it's not retracting out. This also cap was pretty loose, so rebuild this one as well. This one was actually pretty low. Exact same was one as the wheels, but we're not going to do it too much, you know. Let those air bubbles come up. Focus. Let those air bubbles come up. Just let that set for a bit, and come back to it once it's done. All that oil has come up to the surface. Alright, this is the outcast, and this is the body shell. So if you look at the shell, what do you think, guys? Should I get some roof skids for this? Or should I get a brand new body shell? Because it's already been ripping. You can tell from right there and there. For a couple of runs, it's actually not that bad, so I'll put some duct tape on the bottom of my shell. It doesn't really help that well. I should have done drawel tape and shoe glue. But what are you gonna do about it? I can go to the store later today and I can see if I can fix this up. So I can remove all this duct tape right here and put some drywall tape and sugar, see if I fix this up a little bit. But overall, it's a good body shell. I love it. Still perfectly fine. That shock's still working at it. You know, that bubbles out. What do you think, guys? What do you think, guys? Should I do any upgrades to this thing? Only thing I've broken on it is a wheel white hub and wheel dry shafts, and then I obviously lost one of these little body posts. I have one on order right now, so it should be coming soon. So I only have a temporary just foam on there, just to keep it from popping off. I don't know if you guys know any companies that make a center dry shaft, an upgraded one. If you do, put a link in the description. I would love if you guys put something for a center dry shaft and maybe some dry shafts, because I'm looking for upgraded ones. So I don't trust the plastic ones. I am gonna get an M2C Racing chassis brakes, because I heard these things break pretty easily. They just take a bad landing. So I'm going to order on one of those. Is the shock done? So we got some air bubbles in there, so that's set a little bit more. I always label this Outcast. I mean, this remote's okay. I won't say it's the best radio. It's definitely comfy, but it's not as fast. So I'm gonna probably put on a Dumbo. I am probably gonna put on this remote right here, this Dumbo RC, because it has I can get my finger into that and do this with my steering action and all that. This has also the quickest response I ever had on my radios, so I'm definitely gonna probably put that in at one point. But for now, I'm gonna use this one. The shock's good enough. I don't care if it's good enough. I just want it to work. Shock cap back on. Push the piston up, where those air bubbles come out. Give that a couple minutes to escape, and then go ahead and put the shock cap back on. And then your shock should just be okay now. I make sure my shock caps are always tight, including on my race buggy. I actually do, in this video, I'm actually going to do my mom's vehicle. She needs a rebuild on her shocks, so this is going to be a long video. So get yourself maybe a chair or maybe some snacks and all that, because you're definitely going to need it. So now, piston out. Okay. I mean, shaft is smooth, but it's not coming out. That's fine. Doesn't look like it doesn't have a bent shock shaft, so we're fine. So, because usually when that happens, when the piston doesn't, or when the shock widening doesn't come out, it's usually due to a bent shock shaft, bent shock shaft. But in that case, I don't see anything bent on this. It still does normal shock things. Just make sure that cap's on now. Alright, that's all now. Just go ahead and reassemble these shocks. So what you do is just do that, put the shock spring in there.
I need help. Hey, can someone unstick the cord? What the hell? There you go. Throw it out.
There you go. Let's get you guys good grease. That looks again. So now, put the bottom of the shock and clean the armor just a tiny bit. It doesn't have to be perfect, I just wanted to do at least its job. I know you guys are gonna give me grief for just using power tools, but I don't care. It just doesn't really matter to me. So I'm obviously just gonna do some other changes to this. I might put some success shocks on here, just to help keep it from these shocks, because I heard some stories that these things will leak. And as I just saw today, I just did a rebuild on them. We'll top them off with oil. Perfect. Bring the arm, bring that up. Drive your rear end shocks. These shocks actually have to go, so the dry shaft needs to be next to this right here. So I'll show you that as soon as I have it on. First, we want to clean this guy up. In. Now I can't use the power tool for this, so you got to use it by hand wrench. If you have the power tool with RC power tool tips, you can just do it by there. Definitely, this truck's definitely a fun truck. I love how it performs. I love how it handles. It's just a very all-round fun truck to just drive. It's a pleasure to work on. There's absolutely zero things I hate about it, except the dry shafts, obviously. So I probably will end up getting aftermarket dry shafts. Once again, I'll tell you guys, if you know any company that sells upgraded dry shaft and metal center dry shaft, put a link in the description, and I'll tag you in this video. Also guys, if you also these clogging probably, is usually due to these that coming these motor wires coming loose. So what you can do, you can take a Phillips head, small one, and just open up those bindings a little bit. Now I'm not having issues with that, so I'm keeping them as is right now. Go ahead and turn up the co-op, turn up the bottom of the arms, so it doesn't track anything to the arms. And once again, guys, I put some special formula on these arms and all the plastic pieces. It's called WD-40. You obviously know that, but what it's supposed to do is supposed to soak into the plastic, make it a lot more stronger and flexible. And I actually tested that, and it does. So now, shock calls me built. Shocks that we've been with. So now when there's a shock, chin is just perfect. 4 we built shocks. So we can move this to a side, and then we can go get my mom's vehicle. Now, since it's at the end of summer, I'm going to put heavier weight in this. You can tell it lines up too much. I'm only going to do the front because the front actually are fine. Just the rear I need to work on. As you can see, back bounces more than the front, so we're going to do the rear. But that's going to be in the next video. Gotcha.